Now, it's time for Spotlight on Business, where every week we put the spotlight on a different local business so you can find out how they serve you and the community. Now from Michiana's Morning News, it's Laura Smith.
Welcome to the Merchant Alliance show that we do twice a month on 95.3 MNC, which I absolutely love because it gives me a chance to get up close and personal with all the places that I basically go to all the time in downtown Elkhart. I love downtown Elkhart. I bought my home here exactly 5 years ago because I said something big is happening in Elkhart. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I can feel it. I can feel the energy and the vibe. So I wanted to buy as close to Main Street as I could. Plus, I was born in Elkhart General Hospital so many years ago. So any reason to bring me back here. And boy, I have not been disappointed. I absolutely love this town, the city with a heart. And there's so much going on. There's so much to do. In fact, there's a great new website that you can go to, which is dodowntownelkhart.com, which has all the information on venues and restaurants and stores and boutiques and all of the events and everything, you know, Ruthmere and Havilah Beardsley, you name it, what makes our downtown just so special. And speaking of special, there is a restaurant in town, which I think is quintessential Elkhart, Indiana. When people talk about Elkhart, Indiana, and the great food that you can find there, inevitably the Vine comes to thought. The beautiful building with the beautiful owners of Jeannie and Tom Kern. It's so good to have you here, Jeannie.
Thank you, Laura. Good to be here today.
You're kind of famous, just so you know, because when I moved back here 5 years ago, I didn't really know anybody, and everybody in the world seemed to know you. Your name always came up. The Vine always comes up. The food always comes up. And then finally, I feel like I know you now because I've been there enough that I get what they're talking about.
We're friends.
Yes. Well, you're friends with everybody. You really are like the docent of downtown Elkhart. Everybody knows you.
Well, I wasn't born here, but I was here all but 2 years of my life. And so that's nearly native, right?
Oh, I would say so. Since what high school did you go to?
Elkhart Central.
Okay.
Once a Blazer, always a Blazer.
Oh, nice. And how about Tom?
Tom was Memorial.
Okay. And where did you meet?
Well, we met in January of '84 at the former headquarters lounge.
At the headquarters?
Yes.
What is that?
It was a place where you could go and listen to live music. And
really?
Yeah.
Where was it?
On Napanee Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
The old Parkmore Plaza.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yes, the rest is history. So 41 years later, we're still strong.
That is so neat. I love that. And he's a doll. And you guys are true fixtures down here. That building that you are in, to explain it to us historically, if you would, because it's beautiful to look at. Makes me so happy that they didn't tear it down like they have with a lot of those old buildings in Elkhart.
Right, I agree. So we bought the restaurant in 2016, November, opened, and it was a restaurant already. And so it's housed in this building that was built in 1982.
You mean 80?
Sorry, 1892. I transposed there. 1892, so it's 133 years old. Mm-hmm. It started out as a bank, so we have a little back room in the back that's was the vault back in the day.
Is it still there?
Well, the vault fixtures have been removed, but the room is there, and so small dinner parties of 8 or 9 can enjoy that room privately, and people love that.
For sure. And I love inside of the restaurant in the Vine, you have all these old photographs, and I just love that.
That was a job. So when we redid the interior in 2018, my biggest job was sorting through about 500 historic photos to choose ultimately about 25. So that took me quite a while, but then I framed them all and we hung them all after we painted floor to ceiling and redid all the fabric. And now it's our restaurant with our vibe.
Your vibe. And the Vine has a vibe. Let me tell you, it's probably the only restaurant that I know in history that is like really upscale, delicious cuisine with Led Zeppelin playing in the background.
You get that sometimes, or some Pink Floyd. Or...
Yes, you do. You've got your classic rock going all the time. But the food is wonderful. My cousin, whose father lives here, but he grew up in North Carolina, so he would come all the time to Elkhart. And during the last few years of his dad's life, I brought him to the Vine, and he was like, how did I not know about this place? So now every time he comes to Elkhart, he's like, can we go to the Vine? Yeah, he absolutely loves it. It's wonderful food. What do you call it? Americana? What is it? Nouvelle cuisine?
I would say, the blanket term is American restaurant, because we do have hand-cut steaks and pastas. We have pizza. We have excellent salads. People say all the time that nobody has salmon as good as ours.
Yeah.
So good sourcing is good. And that all comes from the fact that we hired a Culinary Institute of America trained chef. And he's been with us since, about 2 weeks after we opened the doors. He had to give proper notice to his employer. He moved down here from Port Huron, Michigan, and he's just...
And he's a CIA graduate. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Credentials hanging on the wall.
Oh, that's very cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's in command of that kitchen, and I stay out of the kitchen.
Isn't that wonderful?
It's the best. I operate the front of the house, and he does everything in the back, and I stay out of his way.
Well, there's something about that's what you feel. You go to the Vine, and you feel like you're kind of walking into Jeannie's home in the sense that she's so welcoming. Everybody that walks in there gets a hug or a high five, or you're just really, truly, people love you and love the restaurant, and everyone feels it's the perfect hometown place, honest to goodness. But it's so beautiful too. Again, you did a great job with the redesign, and keeping it true, keeping the original floors in there, and I love it, and I love the booths in the back, and it just all around. It really truly is like, that if you want to take somebody who's visiting from out of town and have the real downtown Elkhart experience, you have to go to the Vine, because my favorite, that salad, the Vine Classic.
Yes,
I love it.
If I ever took that off the menu, I think Elkhart would hang me up on the clock tower.
Exactly. It's delicious. It's the perfect salad. It is absolutely the perfect salad. So consistency is obviously something that has played a huge role. And that is so smart, because a lot of times these places will try to reinvent themselves. And right. And
yes.
But you're about consistency.
Yes.
So you always know what you're going to get.
Part of the consistency, Laura, is that when people come in for lunch, a lot of times it truly is their lunch hour. And so if we don't produce food quickly and consistently, they're not going to keep coming back. So that is a vital. I have a fellow that comes in 1 to 3 times a week, and he perpetually applauds us on how consistent and how quickly they receive their lunch.
You understand that, coming from New York like I did, everybody lunches at restaurants. Everybody lunches at restaurants. So when I came here, I was a little confused, because there was like hardly any place open for lunch. A lot of the restaurants in Indiana or in Elkhart open just for dinner, and that's fine. And I'm sure there's economic reasons and all sorts of reasons for that. But you are always open for lunch, and it makes me feel like, it's just convenient for me.
Yes, and we when we open at 11, we don't close until during the week 8 o'clock, and on the weekends 9 o'clock. There's several restaurants that will close, say 2 to 4, 2 to 5, and people really appreciate the fact that they can come in for a late lunch or an early dinner
or just drinks.
Find us there.
Yeah.
Yeah, drinks, and appetizer.
You have a fabulous bar. I love your bar. You make awesome drinks. And in fact, we chose the Vine to have our information meeting, if you would have, with Colette Travel, because we take this group to Europe or somewhere in the world, and now it's becoming an annual thing. And we decided to have it at the Vine this year thinking that would just be the perfect place. And a lot of people came in from South Bend and Mishawaka who listened to the radio station, and they were like in awe. They totally loved it and felt like they were discovering something great. So we were grateful for that. And it really, somebody said yesterday at my birthday party, they said, you know what, if the way you treated us to wonderful appetizers and drinks at the Vine, she said, I think that's why I ended up going on the trip. So, yeah. So
gotta
you
get them somehow.
Exactly. So, Jeannie, you've so the restaurant's been open then 9 years?
Yes, under our ownership.
Under your ownership.
It will be 9 years this fall. Yes.
Okay.
And so then we were able to buy the building in 21 late, which was such a blessing and an honor to, gosh, that building is just, in my opinion, the most iconic building in downtown Elkhart. And there was just a lot of work that needed to be done to it. So we got right after it, put a new roof on, tuck pointed and sealed all the brick. We, last year, restored the copper top in front.
I remember that. I was so happy to see you were doing that.
That was my favorite thing that we did to the building, because it has two finials, and one of them had fallen off 14 or 15 years ago, was smashed flat as a pancake. And so we found a gentleman to properly restore that copper top up to and including stamping finials or fleur-de-lis.
The fleur-de-lis
on the tiles, which a lot of people don't see, but that is a proper restoration.
I was so happy when I saw that happening there because, you know, one of the reasons that building is so iconic, first of all, the color. Is it a sandstone?
The front is a red sandstone.
Yeah, red sandstone. And what's so beautiful is that what do you call it, a roof or the tiled roof? It oxidizes, right? Because it's the copper.
So it is copper, but it's green.
Yes.
And it is an eye catcher for sure.
It's beautiful.
We love it.
Absolutely beautiful. Everything about it. The Vine is your perfect quintessential downtown Elkhart, Indiana, but it could be anywhere in the United States because it's that iconic and that welcoming. And when we come back, I want to hear more about what it's like, the restaurant business in this day and age, coming out of COVID, this new, during the inflation of the last few years, and then now hopefully eventually seeing some relief in prices and stuff like that. Where does it stand? How easy or hard is it to run an iconic restaurant? I'm speaking with Jeannie Kern, who is the owner of The Vine, which is at 214 Main Street in Elkhart. And you can't miss it. Let's put it that way. And you don't want to either. We'll be right back. This is the Merchant Alliance Show for Downtown Elkhart. I'm Laura Smith.
Podcasts by Federated Media.